All right, listeners, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into, well, something every sorceress needs to master in Path of Exile too.
Support gems.
Support gems, exactly. Think of this like building your ultimate spell book from scratch. We're talking about those little gems that can make your spells hit harder or, help you survive that nasty boss fight.
Yeah, you've got it. It's like we're adding spices to a recipe. The right support gems can completely change the flavor of your build.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, we're looking at this text source. It seems to focus on some solid beginner-friendly options, perfect for any new sorceress stepping into Ray class for the first time.
Right on. And there are a ton of options, so let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it. So right off the bat, what are some must-have gems for a brand new sorceress? I mean, I see multiple projectiles here, and that just seems like a no-brainer. More fireballs, more ice shards, more chaos.
Yeah, early game, it's a beast. Especially when enemies don't have a ton of resistances. You just overwhelm them with pure projectile mayhem.
Right, makes sense. But I'm guessing as you progress and enemies get tougher, things get a little more tricky.
For sure. You'll start running into enemies with high evasion, and suddenly landing all those projectiles isn't so easy. You might want to consider focusing your power instead of spreading it out.
Okay, so it's a trade-off then, quantity versus quality.
Right. Exactly.
All right, what about faster casting? I mean, that seems like an obvious choice for any spellcaster.
Right.
Cast faster, more damage. What's not to love?
Well, it's not quite that simple. Faster casting does let you sling spells like crazy, but it also reduces the damage of each spell. Think of it like a quick jab versus a powerful haymaker. Sometimes you need that raw power.
It's all about strategy then.
Exactly. Choosing the right tool for the job.
Are there certain spells that benefit more from faster casting than others?
Absolutely. Spells with a short cast time, like Arc or Spark, can become insanely fast, letting you zip around and dodge attacks.
I can see that.
But something like Fireball with a longer cast time might be better off with a damage-boosting gem instead.
Okay, so faster casting is situational. It's not always the best choice.
Right.
All right, let's talk about damage. We've got our added elemental damage gems.
Okay.
Added cold, added fire,
Yeah.
added lightning. Like picking your elemental flavor.
This is a big decision for any sorceress. You're essentially specializing in one element at the cost of the other two.
Right. So you're saying if I go all in on fire damage, my ice and lightning spells are going to be weaker.
Yeah, you'll see a slight reduction in their damage. It's all about focus. Do you want to be an ice queen, freezing everything in your path? Or a pyromancer, burning everything to the ground? It's up to you.
No pressure then. All right, so we've got our damage sorted, but what about mana? Early game especially, managing mana can be tough.
Oh yeah, Arcane Surge is your friend there. Think of it like a mana battery. Keeps those spells flowing.
Right. Especially when you're just starting out and your mana pool is pretty small.
Exactly.
So we've covered the early game basics. But what happens when things get tougher? When we start facing those endgame bosses with all their scary resistances?
That's where elemental penetration gems come in. They're game changers. Especially later on.
So how do those work exactly?
It's like, you're bypassing their defenses. Enemies build up resistances to certain elements, making them harder to hurt. But with the right penetration gem, you can cut right through those resistances, like they're not even there.
Oh, wow. So it's a way to boost your damage even further against those tough enemies.
Yeah, especially when you're hitting a wall and your damage just isn't cutting it anymore.
Okay, so these gems are powerful. But are there any downsides?
Well, they're not always necessary early on. If you're already dealing good damage and you're not facing enemies with crazy resistances, you might be better off boosting your base damage first.
Makes sense. So it depends on your build and what you're facing.
Right.
All right, I see controlled destruction here, which sounds a little counterintuitive. Why would we want to give up critical hits? Even for more damage.
Well, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
And definitely not for everyone.
Right.
Controlled destruction gives you a big damage boost, but takes away your ability to crit.
So you're trading the chance for big hits for consistent damage.
Exactly. And for some builds, that's a worthwhile trade-off.
So for builds that maybe aren't focused on crits anyway, this could be a good option.
Yeah, like builds that utilize skills with built-in added damage, Scorching Ray, Arctic Breath, things like that. They benefit a lot from that consistent damage boost.
I can see that. All right, so it's all about knowing your build and what works best for you.
Right.
Now we come to another interesting choice. Area of effect or concentrated effect. Do we want to blow everything up or focus on single targets?
This one really comes down to playstyle. Do you like big explosions and crowd control? Area of effect is your friend. But if you prefer taking down single targets with precision, then concentrated effect is the way to go.
I love this game. So many choices. All right, what about Spell Echo? Double the spells. Sign me up.
It sounds amazing, right? But it does come with some downsides. It drains your mana faster and slows down your casting speed.
So there's a trade-off.
Yeah, but the payoff can be insane. Imagine a storm of fireballs or a barrage of ice spikes. It can be overwhelming.
I can only imagine. But you'd have to be really careful with your mana, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, mana management becomes even more important with Spell Echo.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, last one on the list. Wild Shards. This one sounds a little chaotic, you know? Just firing projectiles randomly.
It's definitely a wild card. Wild Shards fires a bunch of projectiles in a random spread, so you never know exactly where they're going to land. It's not the most reliable for precise hits, but when it connects, oh boy.
It's like a shotgun blast of magic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds fun, but unpredictable.
Exactly.
So we've talked about a lot of individual support gems, but how do we actually put all of this together? I mean, there's so much to consider.
That's where the real magic happens. It's like putting together a puzzle, you know? You've got your support gems, your passive skill tree, your ascendancy class, your gear. It all has to work together.
So it's all about synergy.
Exactly. Finding those combinations that really make your build shine.
And it's not just about damage, right? We've talked about utility and survivability, too.
Oh, yeah. You can't deal damage if you're dead.
Right.
There are support gems that can help you dodge attacks, reduce incoming damage, even create distractions. It's all part of building a well-rounded character.
So many options.
Yeah.
And then to top it all off, we have unique items, which can completely change the game.
Yeah, unique items are like wild cards. They can grant special abilities, modify your skills, even change the way support gems work. It's what makes Path of Exile so replayable and exciting.
So much depth. All right, well, this has been an incredible journey through support gems. I feel like a Sorceress Master already, but this is just the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
This focused on some beginner-friendly options. There are tons of other support gems out there waiting to be discovered.
So to all you aspiring sorceresses out there, don't be afraid to experiment. Try different combinations. Find what works for you, and most importantly, have fun.
Experimentation is key. And as you dive deeper into the world of Rayclast, think about this.
Oh, here we go. I love this part.
Which support gems will truly define your playstyle and make you the sorceress you were meant to be? Will you be a master of crowd control? A single target destroyer? A glass cannon? It's up to you to discover your path.
And be sure to share your discoveries with us. We'd love to hear about the crazy builds you come up with. Until next time, happy spellcasting, everyone.
See you in Rayclast!